How's it going today so far?
Hi, good, really well. What about yourself?
I'm great. I'm great. Oh my God, this movie scared the crap out of me. So I'm going to start by telling you that when I was a little girl, I went to Jewish day school, and I remember them very distinctly taking us to the play of the Dybbuk. I don't know if you guys know about that movie, play, book, everything. Scared
Mhm.
me like for a lifetime, especially being a young Jewish girl. Now I see this movie. Thanks so much, Oliver Park. Really appreciate that because honestly, I don't even know what to say. So you get this script and then you heighten it with your own nightmares. Can you please express me to me what this is all about?
Well, I have been having horrific nightmares my entire life. And I think my earliest nightmare was when I was 3 and I told my parents that I didn't want to go to bed because I thought the shadow people were going to take me away.
Oh God.
So I thought it was high time I started using these to let you guys know what it feels like. But I don't want to take away from what
Thanks,
Hank
mate.
did because I think, yeah, thanks. I think it's one thing saying, I have these vicious nightmares and I did inject that into the movie, but it's working with Hank and it's working with the team that really bring those to light. Because if anyone's ever tried to explain a dream to someone
Right.
so they get it, we all know what that's like. No one understands the feeling of a dream after it's been translated. Which, so I would say, is testament to how amazing Hank is as a writer because
Yeah.
he's the one who took those ideas that kind of trickled out of my head and turned them into things that worked for the story and
Got
that
it.
weren't just to make someone jump per se.
Yeah.
So it was he and I working together, and then Lorenzo and obviously Nick and Em and everyone coming together to realize that. So
Yeah.
I would say it's not actually my fault. I would say I wasn't even on screen when the scary stuff was happening. I would say it was Em and Nick.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. All right. So Nick, let's go to you now. First of all, are you even a fan of this genre? Like, what was your reaction when you read this script?
Well, I mean, with a lot of the times when you read a script, obviously the story and everything, but it's also the character. And so I was reading it very much in the perspective of that character. Um, there was a lot more backstory and build up in the original draft that I'd read, which was handy for me because then I had that material to refer to, even though we didn't, have to shoot that.
Right.
Um, so that was the initial thing, and I was interested in, this guy having rejected this whole culture and then returning to it, what that felt like and what motivated it, how to navigate that return into that world. And
Mm,
then the sort of the horror side of it, because I'm not well versed in that genre, I referred to my manager and kind of went, does this make sense? Is this what they do? And then the next step was having a chat with, and I'd already met Yoni a couple of years before when we'd got on great, one of the producers and who helped develop the story, and then meeting Oliver over, we had a chat, and just immediately you got it was infectious, his enthusiasm for the story and the genre, and
yeah.
felt like he had a really clear vision of what he wanted to do, but was also really open to collaborate. So that really compelled me to do it.
Right. Okay. And then Emma, for you, I mean, oh my God, like not only psychologically and everything, what you go through, you're pregnant, in the film, you're pregnant. There's just all these heightened things that you have to go through. What ended up challenging you? I mean, you're up on a
Yeah.
ceiling. I mean, oh my
Yeah.
God. I hope you got danger pay for this film.
I mean, everybody else got a lot of entertainment from me just being like hung from a second story window. I was up there for I don't even know how long, and people would leave the set and come back, and I was still hanging up there, being like, guys, come on now.
Yeah,
Um,
you'd forget she was up there. You'd be sat there eating your food or your lunch and be like, "Oh, does she want anything thrown up there?"
and I'm like, yeah, it was very, I mean, that was challenging. But I think that was what was really exciting about the project for me, is that just from an actor's standpoint and selfishly, I was like, there's so many things that I can dig my teeth into here. The stakes are
Yeah.
so high, the technical aspects of horror, making sure that the stakes are met, but that also you're catching it on film, with
Right.
all of the technicalities of it. And then, being able to really sink my teeth into the emotionality of this family drama, and she's pregnant and she's fighting for the life of herself and her baby, and So kind of from a selfish standpoint, like all of those aspects were really exciting to me.
Yeah. Oliver, like I said, you put these two through the ringer. What impressed you about them? You can embarrass them. Go ahead.
What impressed me about them? You mean
Yeah.
on set?
Just in terms of their work ethic and everything that they really
For what you put us through,
yeah, for what you put them through. Seriously.
Well, okay. I did at one point, each of them at different times, say I was going to scare them for real. And was that okay?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to let them know that
we were
they're
not
a horror
safe.
movie.
No.
They signed up for this. But like ultimately, I never did. I think I did make Em jump a couple times, but it was actually at the point where she was jumping in the movie anyway, so I kind of told myself that was okay. But ultimately, I think that there's a lot of fun to be had with making a horror movie, and neither of these guys, like horror, but I'm slowly trying to kind of bring them around. But when you're working with people as talented as everyone we managed to get for this movie, it's a dream to be directing, because you're working with people you wind up and you're just watching art. And it's, like I mentioned my dream earlier on, I'm watching them do things that I just think, I don't even know how you're doing that, but it's moving me. I did cry during some takes. I'd be behind the kind of small, tiny little window of a thing I had. It was just such a beautiful experience because these people are complete rock stars.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, kudos to everybody for this. Okay, so Nick, I just have to ask you about the autopsy scenes because, it's so creepy and everything, but I always want to know when you're working on a horror movie, especially something like this, because of the mysticism and everything that's involved. Did anything really creepy happen on set that kind of freaked you out?
Yeah.
Sorry, was that for me?
Yes, Nick. Sorry, you first.
All right. Well, Ollie's nodding like he knows something that I don't.
I know a couple. I mean, I don't know what happened to Nick. I'm excited to find out what happened to you. I didn't know anything happened to you, but I know a couple things that happened.
I didn't have anything especially. I mean, the makeup on the corpse and everything was brilliant. So that does weird you out a little bit. And then, but nothing. I mean, I did kind of at one point with, well, I can't really say the specific scene without ruining a plot thing. There was a particular scene when we watched the film, very high emotion, and I remember zoning out to a point where it was almost like an out of body experience where I had to remind myself where I was and kind of jolt back into the room slightly. It took me out of things, and it's hard to explain without giving away.
There was a couple of times in the edit, actually, I remember speaking to Nick, just saying, "How did you do that?" Because I'm not sure you're still there at that point. That's a level of dissociation or something. I was worried for him.
Wow, Emma, what about you? Like, anything? It's weird working on these movies, even though it's a movie. You're still psychologically into these characters. Like I said, especially with the script, there's so much going on here.
Yeah, I think what I learned from this experience was really how to take care of yourself after you leave set. Like things definitely came home with me and sort of seeped into my world in that way. And I had to just sort of be very gentle with myself. And even after filming, it took me a little while to sort of land back into reality, just because your body has gone through those things. It doesn't realize that those things didn't really occur, and that high level of stress. But that was sort of the main thing for me, but nothing particularly creepy happened. Good. Thank goodness, because I'm a scaredy cat, so I don't know if I could have handled it.
I would have been the same way. Well, listen, congratulations to the three of you on this. Like I say, amazing cast, amazing job. Kudos to you for getting through it.
Thank you.
And it's a good one. So thank you for that, and thank you for your time. And happy holidays to all three of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.